Welcome back to another Monday Morning Mentoring. I'm your host, Stephana Johnson, and I've got some really cool news from a study I want to share with you. So good morning, and happy beautiful fall day in the Pacific, from the Pacific Northwest and in North America and South, the Southern Hemisphere. You guys are all probably starting to experience the summer transition. So hi down under to all of you there. And what I'm going to talk about today affects you wherever you are. You're going to love what this study shares. So one of the things about what I do and why I do what I do is because creating a healthy lifestyle is something that I know gets tangible results across the board, no matter who you are, what race, what demographic, what any of that, right? It's something that living with creating a healthy lifestyle, we don't hear enough about that. It's always, so what I want to share with you, because I just finished reading this book, it's so amazing about happiness, and it's called The How of Happiness. Her name's Sonia Lyubomirsky. She walks through an experiment throughout the book. She's talking about the experiments that were done, and she goes into studies that they had done on clinically depressed individuals, put them in a lab, they split them in 3 groups. She has the first group assigned to 4 months of aerobic exercise. And the second group gets on antidepressants. In this case, it was a Zoloft. And then the third group gets both. So fast forward 4 months later, and this is what Sonia has to say. She says, remarkably, by the end of the fourth month intervention period, all 3 groups had experienced their depressions lift and reported fewer dysfunctional attitudes and increased happiness and self-esteem. Aerobic exercises was just as effective at treating depression as was Zoloft, or as a combination of exercise and Zoloft, yet exercise is a lot less expensive, usually with no side effects apart from soreness. Perhaps even more remarkably is that 6 months later, participants who had remitted or recovered from their depressions were less likely to relapse if they had been in the exercise group 6 months ago than if they had been in the medication group. That was very, very interesting, because I talked to clients who've been on some form of antidepressant or some kind of something along those lines for years, decades, right? And they hadn't had an exercise program going at all. So I think this is significant. It's a great book. It has some very interesting notes in there. And I think over the last year and a half, a lot of us have seen a lessening, chronic fear, and the happiness level has gone way down because of all the other stressors. And yet there's something that we can do that costs us nothing, to go and take a walk. And it doesn't matter what kind of exercise. Now, the aerobic exercise, you could go for a brisk walk once a day for 10 to 30 minutes and make a significant difference. And I want to tie this in also. So that's happiness, right? And it goes along with happiness is crucial. But what about self-esteem? And self-esteem and confidence are different. Having confidence in your skills and in the way your body moves and feels is great. But what about the deep inner intrinsic confidence or the self-esteem, where you feel self-assured? This is something that we've seen studies over the last year and a half. People, their self-esteem has gone down. And once again, there are studies that show that exercise increases self-esteem. So this is one more reason why you want to have some kind of exercise program. It doesn't have to be going to the gym every day. It could literally be going to take your dogs for a walk. Commit to every day I'm taking my dogs for a walk in the morning, and for a specific brisk walk. If you don't have dogs, then you could specifically just say, every morning I'm going to walk around the block 3 times. Something to start the process going, and just notice what happens. 10 minutes a day, every day. There was another study that showed 1 hour a week, and then also 10 minutes a day, and had an effect, not just on the waistline, but on the self-esteem and happiness level. So I want to put that forth this week as from our mentoring, is like, what can you actually do to make a difference? And I talk a lot about other concepts. I've been talking about mobility and specific motion, but I just want to get across that it could be anything, any form of exercise that works for you and for your body. 10 minutes, just set a timer and go do that. Can you commit to doing that this week? 10 minutes a day, going and getting a walk. If you can't get up for whatever reason, can you do something with your upper body? Can you do something where you can get a little bit of aerobic energy going, where you're breathing more and you're getting more oxygen in? See if you can do that this week. Let me know how that goes. There, once again, significant studies on this, that exercise is as effective, if not more effective, without the side effects as Ritalin, Prozac, Zoloft, and there are numerous studies on this. You can certainly Google them. I can put the links in the chat on there if you want to see the exact studies and read all of them. If you get the happiness, the book on Sonia's book, that How of Happiness, that goes in and she links all of them. She gives you lots of details on those if you're really into where's the source of this, who wrote it, what was the study about, which I think is important. I think we need to be critical thinkers and what the study actually, how it took place, and was it a double blind, and more information on that, as opposed to just taking, oh, well, they said this, and right. I'm into that too. I want to make sure that we have real studies. I have my own empirical evidence, and hopefully you will for yourself discover the difference that exercise feels. I mean, my goodness, 10 minutes. Can you do it? Are you going to take the challenge? 10 minutes a day, go exercise, go walk, do something of that nature. It doesn't matter what kind, have fun with it, breathe. And just notice, see how you feel. It's pretty important stuff. All right. So if you are looking to make permanent changes and you want some support with that, please jump on a calendar, time on my calendar, stephana.net. I am here to support you. It is what I believe in, folks. It's a healthy lifestyle that's going to make all the difference. And it's the small doable changes. It doesn't have to be this 180 change where you're running around doing an hour and a half workout and then you're, fail because you're so much in pain the next day. 10 minutes. Can you do it? All right. That's your challenge. Go to it. Make it an amazing day.